This podcast is rated R for restricted. Under 17 requires accompanying parent or adult guardian. Mission 250.
Welcome to the Mission 250 Filmcast, where we are watching every movie on the top 250 movies of all time list according to IMDb. You can go to our website, mission250filmcast.com, where our list is frozen.
Where are you going?
You can check out what's coming up next. See all our
I think
episodes.
Denny was quitting at the moment.
Yeah, and so you're just walking out the door, man.
I am one of our hosts, Denny, and joining me are...
I don't know what this is, but I think it's hilarious.
All right. Here comes Johnny yet again. There. I did my part.
And Jimmy Buckles here too.
Oh, this week we're watching.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Come back, Denny.
He's quitting. That's
He's
it.
quitting?
He gave up.
What? I don't know what he's
Which
doing.
is the
He's like,
1996 movie Trainspotting.
Yeah. Dude, you can't play video games and do the podcast.
We'll
all
see
right?
about
you gotta
that.
Pick one.
Directed by Danny Boyle. It's Trainspotting. The synopsis is written, deeply immersed in the Edinburgh drug scene, tries to clean up and get out despite the allure of drugs and the influence of his friends. John, what do we do on this podcast each week?
Well, you know, we have a podcast. We do that. We record stuff because what we did was we froze the top 250 movies as rated by IMDb users just a little less than 2.5 years ago. And I'm just mixing it up.
1.5 years ago?
I don't know. I've lost
Is it
track
a
of
year
the numbers,
ago?
man. Anyway, and so each week we watch one of those films, and then we have a podcast. We talk about it. We have various facts, trivia, opinions.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Right.
This week it is TC's turn to go first.
What are you doing? Stop it. Look, I can do this too. I can do this too. I cannot talk into the mic.
Well, the thing about this movie is...
Yeah. This is ambience. It's like you're in the room with us. Isn't it, audience? Isn't this awesome?
Wow.
So audio equivalent of shaky cam.
Yeah, that's a good equivalent,
It's
John.
entertaining me. That's all I care about.
Yeah. Well, as long as you're happy.
Yeah. Switching it up. TC, I guess. Yeah. What did you think? This movie. Review.
This was a really shitty movie. And I don't mean bad. I just mean there's a lot of poop in it.
well said, sir.
Man, I'll tell you, that opening sneak. Oh, jeez, it is just shit. There's lots of poop. I mean, I forgot about that. And I was sitting there like kind of getting sick for a second. I was like, half in the bag, per usual. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, geez. Oh, God, no, he's going in. That's right, he goes in. Oh, he goes all the way in. I forgot he goes all the way in the toilet. Which I have to say is probably a good resemblance of being in the throes of addiction. And so you do whatever you have to go get, whatever's going to make you feel good. So this is a hell of a movie. It's not for the faint of heart, and it's not an easy watch if you have anyone in your life that has addiction problems. But the storytelling's pretty good. They do a lot of tricks with camera work and editing that really kind of seals the deal for a lot of the just being high, right? I mean, they did a good job of that. Yeah, I thought the acting was really great. It's some of the, better actors we have nowadays were in this film back then. And especially for the Scotland people, that whole group. I've recognized almost everybody at some point in this movie and being continued to be in the Los Angeles world. So they've transferred over from European films to anything else now. So yeah, the music was pretty good. I mean, this is a good movie.
Classic
it's a classic. Yeah, I mean, yes, classic soundtrack. Yeah, it's a damn good movie. It's a good watch. But you have to be prepared for a lot of poop, which I know for Denny is not a problem.
Nope.
Yeah.
Sean probably loves this movie.
Yeah, I was surprised he wasn't on this one.
No,
yeah,
he's coming up on the Big Lebowski one. So
perfect.
Well, that's fine
perfect.
too. Just
less poop in that one.
Yeah,
less poop.
I don't think there's any poop in that one, really.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pee.
No, wait. There's a toilet. Isn't there a toilet?
I think there's a toilet
scene?
swirly scene. Yeah,
that's poopish.
Yeah, which is close to the one that was in this one. That was poopish. It's not quite poopy, but it's poopish.
No, exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I like this one, but I was happy to have it end. I think where I'd go from there. It's a tough one to watch if you've ever had any kind of problems with drugs. So
I'd just be interested in sort of how realistic you think it was in terms of knowing the culture a little more than I think Denny or I do.
Yeah, it was really hard when the baby died, right?
Yeah.
Because I could so see that happening. Not, I've never gone into heroin myself, but I know quite a few people that have, and some of them have not come out on the other side. So it's a lot. Like, I could definitely see the same shit that I've seen in Friends in this movie, and it's just like, it's disheartening because there's once that shit gets a hold of you, it's really difficult to get out of it. So it's a cool story in the sense that like that's what he's trying to do pretty much throughout the whole thing, and I don't know, it's very real with how he falls back into things here and there, right? Because it's just that lifestyle with the people that you're around. I mean, it's hard to just cut everybody out. And I would think in a place like where they are in Scotland, where do you go? How do you get rid of all your friends and family? How do you, if without leaving the country, you're pretty much, I can imagine, sliding back into it pretty easily. So,
and he even does leave the country, but they follow him to London and shit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
exactly. So,
yeah.
I mean, Spud, hilarious character.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, just a knucklehead.
That actor is perfect too.
It is. He did such a great job at the dummy friend who's just a fucking mess. Yeah.
Apparently, before this movie, there was a play version, and he played Renton, and Spud played Renton in the play version.
Interesting.
Yeah, throwing a little trivia there.
Oh, trivia,
yeah,
Johnny Boyle.
That's good trivia.
But it's
John,
interesting.
I like that.
It's interesting to think of Spud as Renton. I mean, as being the cooler one, relatively speaking.
Right. Well, he is the cooler one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good flick, and I would definitely tell people to watch it. So yeah,
not while eating though, probably.
Yeah.
No,
Probably,
definitely
no.
be well digested by the time you watch this one, because it may come back up.
Yeah. Naomi screamed out loud when they threw the shit across the people at the breakfast table.
Oh my God, I know. And it was like, weren't you just guys waiting for it? Because you knew it was coming.
Yeah,
it was just like, oh, this is so bad.
Yeah.
It's just so gross. Like, his
Has
parents
she
are
not
being
seen
nice. Like, his parents are being nice.
She had
man.
never seen it in like the first poop scene when he crawls into the toilet. She was like covering her eyes. She's like, I can't watch this. This is disgusting.
No, it is.
And I was like,
disgusting.
just you wait. There's another poop scene coming up. And that one
Did you giggle like that too? When you,
oh, dude,
when
I was
you told
laughing so
her?
hard. She was screaming for like 20 seconds, just covering her
I can
face.
totally picture you two sitting there, and then like the camera's on her face, and she's wincing and moaning, and then it just smash cuts to you, turned head, giggling, like
pretty much.
They build up to that so well. Like, they build that tension before the poop flies.
You're like, they're not going to do it, right? They're not going to do it.
well.
Oh my God.
Oh, they're gonna do it. Oh, they're gonna do it. Oh God.
It's all over everyone's face. No.
Had a wee bit of an accident. Oh man.
I also laughed pretty hard when he shits himself and he's like, oh, gross, my hand is covered in shit. Wait a minute, where am I?
Right. Yeah. Like, that was more important for the second. Like, what the hell am I doing here?
He just had these he just made these great noises where he'd like be,
Yeah.
and it's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, he's like,
good
his face is like a Wallace and Gromit caricature of a British person.
Yeah.
It's very cartoonish.
Oh yeah. It's perfect for this character, like you said, Denny. He's just so that's who he is. I mean, it just sort of just is very. It's all about his just being very expressive. Just it's great.
Yeah. What do you think, John?
Hated it.
Of course you did.
When I saw this movie back in it came out in 94.
96.
And I was like 96.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I still feel like I hadn't. I was like living in Salt Lake City, going to school there, and I hadn't really there's some of this music I hadn't been exposed to. I hadn't been exposed to this style, Iggy Pop, and a lot of the sort of, they also fused in this more modern electronica stuff that I hadn't been, and it was just like Brian Eno and stuff like that. So that made a big impression on me at the time, to where I really loved the film. And then its attitude was immensely, I don't know, this whole idea of the sort of especially the beginning and the end of the film, where they're talking about how there's this dream of what supposedly, as a drug addict, you're turning away from life and trying to say head on that life may not be that great. All the things that you want, having a job, getting married, all that stuff, that's not necessarily such a great thing.
Right.
And again, not that it's necessarily true, but it's part of the perspective, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
Right.
the drug does all that stuff for you. You don't really need all that.
So
right?
so it's like, I mean, I think that's one of the things the movie says, that again, it's not like it's just A or B. You could figure something else out, right? If you're, if you've got the ability to do it and you're able to do it.
Become a famous actor like Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's more than just either do drugs or be miserable. There's probably other options out there, but still, it's still really cool in terms of just presenting that perspective and doing it with such enthusiasm. I know there's really dark moments in the movie, and it's terrible, but there's still such an exuberance about parts of the film that it's not that it promotes doing drugs. It actually just promotes sort of it's almost life affirming in parts. I mean, like that poetry at the end, even though it's kind of depressing if you think about it, it's really well done. And
Like the last dialogue, you mean?
Yeah, I love it.
Not dialogue, I guess, monologue.
No, it's
whatever
a poem. It's basically it's a poem.
I guess it's like a list of things.
Yeah, but it's done with rhyme. I mean, it's done in cadence.
It's a good fade out. It's a very good fade out for that.
Yeah.
Right.
And ending like, I'm gonna be like you.
I'm gonna be like you with a job and at the thing, and then
Yeah.
I think that was the other sort of thing to just kind of like, what's so great about being sober, which again is not to say you should do drugs or anybody should do drugs, but there are those moments where you can kind of identify with like he's gotten sobered up. He's sitting there playing bingo with his parents, and he's absolutely miserable.
Yeah,
it's like,
well, that just would suck anyway.
Right, but you can sort of understand that situation. It's like this is what I should be.
This
doing.
is what I quit for.
This is the right thing to do.
Right. Yeah,
and
that was just because he was being supervised by his parents still, right? Because he was like fresh off it.
Yeah, but it's also just that's like they followed a straight path all their lives, and here's how they ended up. Kind of too is the other thing that sort of I don't know.
Hey, dude, I'd play bingo if it involved getting drunk too, which they were doing. Didn't seem that bad.
Well, yeah, everything seems to involve getting drunk too.
Yeah.
Well, I like that their version of being sober too means you drink.
Yeah,
right.
a lot.
It just means that you're not doing heroin anymore.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you stop drinking. Yeah.
And I mean, the other thing is, TC, you nailed it. Like you're seeing these actors. Like it's kind of like a Donnie Darko thing where you see each of these actors. You're like, I want to go see anything they're in after this. Ewan McGregor. He was so charismatic in this role and so like exuberant. It was just pretty amazing to watch. It's like you kind of knew like, all right, this guy's he's gonna do more stuff.
Like the Star Wars prequels.
Yeah, he's gonna be Obi-Wan. I wouldn't have called that he would have been Obi. Yeah, he's gonna be Obi-Wan Kenobi one day.
George Lucas should give this guy a call.
Yeah, I see a young Obi-Wan there. I didn't see that at all.
I'll tell you, that BB gun scene, man, that did it for me. Hire that man, right?
He knows how to wield a lightsaber. I guarantee it.
Each of their characters were great. Like Sick Boy was awesome, and Begbie. I mean, he's a hateful character, but man, he's done really well. And I didn't recognize Robert Carlyle. So he's like the main guy that was in The Full Monty and a number of other films. But I did not recognize him in terms of because he played this character so well as an asshole that it seemed completely different than the really sweet guy that you see in The Full Monty.
Wow,
So
I didn't notice that either.
Yeah, so that's like an amazing performance there, and Begbie's such an amazing, hateful character.
Dude, he's scary, man.
I love that
so
guy.
convincingly
I love
scary.
that guy.
Yeah,
I love that guy. I would love to get into a bar fight with that guy on his
kick your
team.
ass.
On his team.
On his team.
Yeah.
Dude, the most badass thing in the movie is when he throws. I mean, it's horrible what he does, but at the same time, you're like, man, he did that really well when he threw the glass over and then he's like, all right, here we go. Spins his knife, puts it down, starts the fight. You're like, Jesus, this guy is a pro at this.
Guy's an animal.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, it's really well done. I think that's sort of the other thing. Whatever the things that happen in this film aside, there's so much like passion and just, I don't know, talent on display here. Yeah, energy too.
Just pure energy. The way it moves and like the acting and the music and everything just moves so fast.
Right. Yeah. And so again, there's really, and I think to combine that with some of the terrible, awful things that happen is also quite impressive. Now, I don't know if I saw an extended edition where I don't remember seeing the dead baby the way I saw it in the film that I watched earlier. They show the dead baby. I don't remember that.
For a while.
Because you probably saw it on TV and they took that shot out or something. I don't know.
Maybe I saw it like on VHS or something where it was edited. I don't know.
So John, in the commentary, dude, it was fucked up. And I saw this a while ago, and I didn't remember most of it. I forgot that was in there. But they were talking on the commentary that they took a huge cut to the budget to keep that in the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just that one scene. They know they needed to like make light of all this other drug stuff. They knew they needed a dead baby in the movie to kind of juxtapose the way they were doing everything else.
Yeah.
So it was in there
I
from the
mean,
initial cut.
That was terrifying. It's hard, when the baby crawling on the ceiling was almost comical in the way, just because it looked sort of so artificial. But it was a dream sequence, so
Dude,
it
its
sort of
face
works.
was fucked up. It scared the
Oh,
hell
it's
out
brutal.
of me.
His face was terrifying. But it's weird because maybe I just have these weird juxtapositions in my mind where you see the little feet crawling and it's so cute, the little feet. Just I don't know.
Yeah, it looked like a robot or something.
When you see it crawling, it looks almost
I don't know.
cute, which is like,
Nah, dude, it was nightmares.
But,
It's like it's not even a real baby. It's just what the fuck is it? It's something to scare you.
That was a hell of a scene with the nightmare when he was coming off withdrawal there.
And again, a brilliant job by him, I think, in terms of just showing such like anguish and despair. I don't know, man. I mean, the combination of that, the exuberance of the film, the way the soundtrack is interleaved.
And also relevant to the story of the movie too, the soundtrack.
Right, exactly. And you have
yes, very good point.
By people who do drugs,
right, and by people that do heroin, exclusively, not just drugs.
Right, right. So I think that is. I mean, again, I don't know if the big players, Bowie and Lou Reed. I don't know if like Underworld does heroin or what, but
Iggy Pop.
certainly like the big players. And again, I also love the little bits of dialogue they do. It's sort of a Pulp Fiction style where it's just interesting to hear them talk. Like Sick Boy, I loved hearing him talk and do his narratives. And I again, just part of it was because there's such exuberance in it. So yeah, I don't know, good film.
Yeah,
not for the faint of heart, and not necessarily. I'm sure it could rub people the wrong way in terms of it seeming to display a positive message about drugs, which I don't think it really does.
I don't know. I think I'm in agreement with you. It doesn't really do that. It just kind of shows you
about it, man. There are some. They definitely portray some of these characters, like at least for Sick Boy and Rent Boy. Those are the two guys.
Yeah,
two main characters,
Boy.
right?
Renton, yeah.
No, they call him Rent Boy too.
Oh, they call him Rent Boy. That's nice. That works.
I think after he lets them stay at the house, they call him Rent Boy.
Gotcha.
But yeah, those two characters are cool, I think,
He says that explicitly as part of his narration. People want to say it's all bad, but there's a lot of fun to be had.
Dude, I think what they're trying to go for is the feeling one gets when they know they're about to do the drug.
Yeah.
Because it's the excitement and the thrill of, oh my God, I've got this. Yes. Cannot wait. So it's almost like it does portray it correctly because that's what you would be feeling if you were fiending for the drug.
Yeah, or thinking about like you're about to go see a concert of the band you've been waiting for a long time to go see, and it's your favorite band, or what you're about to go. It's about to happen, or any other kind of thing where you just get pumped and you get excited and enthusiastic and have a lot of fun just being in that moment. And
your dopamine's already fucking coming before you even get the damn thing in your whichever way you do it.
Yeah,
I
would. Yeah, I mean that's still kind of pro drug.
Nah,
well, it's not pro drug. It's just trying to realistically portray it. I mean, we're gonna see Requiem for a Dream. I think, right?
Oh God,
yeah.
Right. So,
oh God,
there are angles to this story. It's not presenting all angles necessarily, or sticking with one. I think it's intentionally trying to show why they do this.
It's showing the deception the drug has on the user. And like from the user's perspective, who likes doing the drug,
right?
Not really the one that's like, "Fuck, I hate this. I can't get out of it. I'm fucked." Like in Requiem for a Dream, but the one that's like, "Fuck, I love this. I love my life when I'm on this. I want this drug at all times."
And at the same time, it's showing consequences. You're seeing,
like
the kids
dead
dies. You see Tommy's consequences. I mean, you still see it. It tries to frankly show the bad sides too, as well. So you don't walk away from it going, "Man, that looks like a good thing." But you can see why people. It's trying to just show the experience of it, I guess.
It's brutal.
It does some certain things where, Renton comes off as kind of like he's not totally a bad guy, which he kind of should be.
But if you look at all of his actions, the things he did, he took Tommy's tape.
He killed Tommy pretty much.
He killed, all of these things that he did. And he
stole the money from all of his friends. Like he's an asshole. He's like,
he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yet I kind of like him a little bit.
I know the truth. Again, that was kind of the intention. They wanted you to have this guy who did bad things. Like they watched A Clockwork Orange, which we're also going to watch. Some of these films where the hero is a complete villain. I like this about the film too. There's no hiding in terms of what the film's trying to say. He explicitly says shit in the narration that's like, this is what we're trying to do right now.
Which is what? So what is it?
So one of the things is like he talks about that people think that it's not fun. No, it's really fun. It feels really good. And so that's one of the things they say. The other thing that they say too is like, I'll do anything. I'll do anything to get whatever my next score is.
Yeah.
I don't care. And other junkies don't care either. You're going to steal, you're going to rob, you don't care anymore.
Right.
And they explicitly say that. And then they also show that happening in the film. And I kind of like the directness of it. Where there's just, it's not like there's symbolism or shit like that. It's just like, no, this is
fuck symbolism.
This is
just getting high, folks. Yeah.
But even then, when they do the more dream sequence stuff, I really like that too. Like the way he fades into the carpet. They also there's
awesome.
surreal elements to the film that are really well done. Even the toilet sort of scene where he's down there. That's like it gets surreal.
He just went on down there, didn't he? Oh, he's down there.
It's done really well. It's just interesting, and then they got the music, the underwater sort of sounding music. I don't know. There's so many great aspects to this film. I don't remember it being I don't remember the sex scenes being as graphic or the dead baby lingering. Maybe I blocked it out of my mind.
Dude, you got an edited copy somewhere.
Yeah,
you might have. Yeah, you might have got an edited copy.
I watched it in Utah. Maybe they.
Do you remember all the
showed
dicks?
a different version?
Yeah, I know. There were a
know.
couple too many dicks.
Yeah,
for me.
a lot of dicks in this movie.
A surprising amount of dicks. Yeah,
dude, when he pulls the condom
off,
off, I was laughing pretty hard.
Yeah,
pretty
he's
good.
stuck. Yeah, she's so beautiful though. I forget what she's in, but I've seen her in a lot of other movies.
Dude, she was
now.
in No Country for Old Men.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, she was
dude,
the
I was
wife.
like, I saw it and she starts, doing the thing, and I was just like, whoa, what?
And I
Damn.
don't recognize some of these people, like Johnny Lee Miller. He was, I don't know if you've seen Elementary, but he's Sherlock Holmes in that.
Oh.
And Tommy is on Grey's Anatomy as like the redheaded doctor there. Which again, I don't know if you watch Grey's Anatomy, which I have occasionally. But it's again, these people are just really good actors. And so you're seeing a lot of them. Did you notice? I don't know if you guys watched the credits to see that the author of the book was in the film as well.
Yeah, they actually put the author, the producer, the costume designer were all in the movie.
Oh, I didn't know that as well. All I knew was that was that Welsh was in it. Actually,
the author was the
guy,
drug dealer that gave the suppository drugs.
Right.
Oh, cool.
So he was in it a few times. The producer was the guy that went with his girlfriend to look at the apartment when Ewan McGregor was the apartment renter guy, and the blonde-haired nurse that injects Ewan McGregor was the costume designer.
That's cool.
Yeah. Because it's cheap. They don't want. He's like, we don't want to pay an extra to do one scene and fuck it up every time.
Yeah, exactly. It makes sense.
Yeah, Welsh was great. Irving Welsh he's a good actor. He did a good job in his part.
Which one's that?
So he was the opiate. He was the writer who wrote the book that this is based on. And he was the guy who gave him the opiates, the suppositories.
Suppositories.
No thanks.
Would that work?
I don't know.
Would that work way more? Because if you drink in your butt, then it works way more. Does that happen with heroin too?
If you drink in your butt.
Yeah. Dude,
Okay, all right, hold on.
like a vodka tampon or like a butt chug, It really goes straight to your bloodstream.
No, my name's Danny. No, I'm good. I just drink in my butt. I don't need it in the cup, man. No
Are
worries,
you
man.
kidding me? I love it that if I have not heard
look
that
it up.
this is a thing.
Look up vodka tampon and look up butt chug.
You were kidding.
God.
You were kidding.
Look it up.
Man.
Oh,
I feel like I
do
don't
not
want
wanna
to know
look that up.
this. Yeah.
Kids these days, man, they're crazy.
If you
You're
put it up your butt.
Dude, if you soak a tampon in vodka and stick the tampon in your butt, you will get fucked up.
That doesn't even sound remotely
Dude,
comfortable
you're right.
just to get fucked up.
That would
You're
burn,
okay,
man.
you're
That would
joking.
burn like hell.
Seriously,
What if you had
you
a
gotta
rough
be
day
joking.
and you wiped a few too many times? You'd be running around the bar like, get the
Dude,
fuck
I don't
out
know.
of here.
Maybe it'll cure you of colon cancer while you're at it. I don't
man.
know. Are you serious? What's it called? let me go into incognito mode here
Just
and see.
type in vodka
Hey,
tampon.
Doc. Hey, Doc. I got a little problem down there. What's up? Well, I was, vodka tamponing. What? Yeah,
Why don't you just pull it out? Oh, I got rid of the string. You idiot.
Well, I was trying to get drunk, so it seemed right.
And I got a canker sore, so I obviously didn't want to drink through my mouth.
Oh, that's so gross.
Have you done it, Denny?
Absolutely not, dude. Are you kidding me? I'm not
I don't
sticking
know.
a vodka
It
soaked
sounded
tampon
like it
in my
was
ass.
coming from experience on this one.
That's
guys
an
don't
alleged
drink
trend.
through your
I don't
butt?
know. There's a lot of more like this is a myth.
Urban legend. Can you drink through your butt?
This looks like more of an urban legend, man.
Dude, it's not an urban legend. Kids do it. Like, it's the same thing with the Tide Pods. It's kind of, it's probably more widespread than actually
What's the
happens,
Tide
but kids
Pods
definitely do
thing?
it. Kids eat Tide Pods for some
Wait.
reason
Why?
because they're idiots and the internet tells them to.
Damn.
Yeah. But yeah, butt chugging too. That's a thing.
Why don't you just guzzle the vodka? It's gonna really mess you up if you guzzle enough vodka.
It's new and exciting, man. You're breaking new ground.
There's a Huffington Post blogger who actually did it back in 2011.
Listen to this one. The latest round of anal-centric tittering occurred in late September when University of Tennessee Phi Kappa Alpha member Alexander Xander Broughton, yes, presumably pronounced Broughton, okay, Broughton, like the bro, got it, was treated for severe alcohol poisoning after allegedly butt-chugging box wine. The proper bromenclature, I believe, is tour de frensia.
Oh my God! They're joking about somebody
Vice.
almost dying from chugging wine out of their butt.
Butt chugging box wine. Yeah. Oh fuck me, man!
This world is fucked up.
I feel like all the dumb shit I've ever done, butt chugging, not one of them.
Yeah. What are we talking about? Oh yeah,
I
we're
don't
talking
even
about
know
a movie.
anymore, dude.
I gotta go get myself a drink. I need
oh wait,
2
he's gonna
minutes
go get
here.
himself a fucking tampon. That's what
Oh
he's
yeah,
gonna do.
he's like, this sounds like a good idea.
We're gonna go get this
give this a
live on
try.
thing, folks. We got the butt chugging situation here.
Let's put the 911 on speed dial for you, John.
Yeah,
All right, hold on. If I don't come back, give me a call.
you'll know
Give me a
what
call.
happened.
Yeah.
Take the
Oh
best
my God,
orgasm you've ever
these
had, multiply it by 1,000. You're not even close to a
close.
vodka tampon.
Hey.
Hey.
I imagine, I've heard that before with the heroin, though. I imagine that's got to be true, and I still have no
1,000?
intention. At that point, are you even able to quantify it?
Yeah,
Times 2, times 3. How could you even quantify it? I mean, I
Yeah,
don't
how
know.
do you multiply? Like, you kind of have a capacity for pleasure. It's like,
Yeah, your brain only has so much dopamine and right, serotonin to get rid of.
maybe it's just a lie they tell people to get them to try it, to like
And
bring
then
them into
take
the
their
world.
money to go get more scores. So
Yeah. Who
To
knows?
score, man.
Yeah,
Hey, man, no,
I
I'm
think-
good on the heroin, but if you could give me a tampon filled vodka, it would be cool.
What kind of vodka? Oh, I like the.
Oh,
the
Mr.
expensive
Boston's
stuff.
fine. Nah, Mr. Boston's cool. I'm not going to taste it.
Dude. If you get the cheaper stuff, it burns your ass more. Trust me.
All right, I'm not drunk yet.
That's too bad.
Anyway.
All right, well, I guess back to the movie.
Back to the movie, I guess. Yeah, I did get a lot of Clockwork Orange vibes watching this, where like the narration of a bad person that tries to bring you on their side to make you sympathize with them, and it's kind of low budget too, and like the actors really get beaten up in it, which is awesome. Like people, it looks like it hurts a lot of the stuff. Like when Ewan McGregor gets tackled by that cop.
But it's real tackle.
Yeah,
Or
you
when
can
he was-
see his head, like
Or
lashed
when
to
he
the
was
side.
going down the stairs, like
Yeah.
being dragged down the stairs, like dunk, dunk,
Dude
dunk,
dragged
dunk.
out of the ambulance car. Like,
Yeah.
there are multiple scenes where people fall backwards because of heroin, but they just fall back onto the ground and hit their heads in the ground.
Right.
Like, fuck,
Right.
that's gotta suck. Multiple shots of the movie are actual injections of heroin.
Yeah. Or
Not
actual,
of
like,
heroin,
but injections.
of needles.
But injections, yeah.
The shots of the sort of like the internal of the needles or the internal of the injection where they did that showing like the liquids moving back and forth. That was
Yeah.
also pretty well done.
It was. This movie kind of, I don't know what you guys think. There's a lot of parts that don't connect narratively, but it doesn't matter. It's one of those movies.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. You still sort of have a sense of you're just kind of watching you're watching moments in these people's lives and you're interested in what happens to them. So it doesn't matter.
But they're so high that it could go in any direction at any time.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's a good point. It's not like there's necessarily like a single plot. There's like bits of plot. It's more like a series of vignettes kind of tied together almost, because you have like towards the end, you've got the heroin deal stuff and what happens there. Or you have actually that's the way it feels like. It feels like it's just a bunch of connected stories. For all I know, the book Trainspotting is that.
They
I'm
said
not
they just
sure.
picked and choose scenes from the book that they liked and put them in, the best scenes from the book. So I don't know if the book is also, if it had like a connecting narrative between the scenes or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, they think there were some parts where, like when, what's his name, smashed the pint glass into that guy's face.
Oh, brutal.
Like, how did, that
Yeah.
was awful. There's a couple scenes in the movie, like it's pretty hilarious throughout, but then there's a couple of scenes where you're like, okay, not laughing for a good 5 minutes here.
Oh, right. Yeah.
No,
Very
once you
serious.
see the blood.
Tone change.
Again, this film wasn't high budget, and the way that I want to go see Shallow Grave again now. Now the director's first film before this.
Never seen it, but I'm definitely going to watch it.
Oh,
after
I've never
this.
seen that either.
Everything seems so expertly handled, and not like not necessarily not high production even, but just smartly done. a number of things, like even those graphic scenes, where like I think of the whole sequence where Begbie throws the bottle back and you see the woman's bloody face, and then the fight starts. Like it's really well, like expertly handled.
Yeah. And what happens there? Does the glass hit her on the top of the head, or did it smash in front of her face and splash back up into her face?
I have no idea. I think if it hit her on the top of the head, she'd be out.
Yeah.
Those are thick glasses,
And I don't know if you would break you. I don't know if it would break on your head, one of those glasses, to be honest.
It would just thud.
It would just like knock you. Yeah.
Yeah. We got one of those from Cheers, the Cheers bar in Boston. It's thick. Those things are thick.
So we're going exploded on the bar in front of her and just went into her face?
Yeah, we guess so. Yeah.
That's horrible.
And then Begbie just had to improvise. He maybe expected someone to be knocked out, but he's like, this lassie's bleeding. Oh, man.
No one's leaving this bar till we figure out who fucking did this.
I love that line. Yeah. Love that line.
Oh, man. So the novel is a series of short stories.
Oh, wow.
So I think the movie then reflects that pretty well, too. It's like you just sort of like follow these characters at different times, and each scene or a set of scenes sort of shows a series of events, and then it moves on.
Are they supposed to be based on true stories?
That I don't know. This was Irving Welsh. This was his first novel. So it was published in '93. Became like this instant hit because they made the movie shortly after.
Well, it was the book wasn't an instant hit, according to the commentary.
Well, wait.
So there was less than 2,000 copies sold in Scotland for the book.
I just made that up on the spot.
But he's making shit up.
Yeah,
a movie to come out 3 years later. That seems like it got popular fast
because the people making the movie. Like one of the guys was really into the book and no one else knew about it and he turned them all on.
Okay, cool. So the thing I made up wasn't true.
Yes. But good try.
Okay. Yeah.
Come to the podcast. You'll learn a bunch of shit that's not real.
But we'll be checked into correction, possibly.
Yeah, we'll be fact checked. Maybe.
I want to read. I haven't even thought about reading this book, but now I kind of want to.
There's apparently a lot of stuff that makes, like the title of the movie makes sense if you read the book. It doesn't really make sense if you just watch the movie.
Do you know what Trainspotting is?
Dude, I watched the sequel to this movie and I read what the title was supposed to mean, and I still don't understand what the title is supposed to mean. Do you understand it, John?
I don't.
I had looked it up a long time ago and I forgot to look it up again.
It has something to do with the idea of being into something, and only the people that are into that thing understand why being into that thing are cool.
I thought more literally, it was actually you go and look at trains and you watch trains. You basically it's like bird watching, but you're like spotting trains.
No, but it also has to. So that's
that's a part of it. Related.
It is, right? But so people went to abandoned or like current train stations, and then they would like piss and shit and do heroin at the train stations, and that would also be considered train spotting.
So what I got here is a bit different, but finish.
But and then in the book. And a scene they include in the second movie, Trainspotting 2, is that I think it's Spud and somebody else, maybe Sick Boy, are at a train station doing heroin, and they bump into an old drunk guy, and they find out after talking to him for a little bit that it's Begsby. Is that his name? Begsby's father?
Begbie.
Yeah,
Begbie.
They find his father, and he didn't know who he was.
You said it wrong, and now I can't say it right, damn it.
Yeah.
I used to know it.
And Begbie, I think it's I have no fucking idea. Begbie. His father says, "What are you guys doing, train spotting?"
Yeah.
So he says it.
So yeah, this one, the definition I have is when you shoot up heroin, it leaves a dark linear mark, also known as a track. So hardcore users will have multiple tracks on sites of veins that have been used a lot. So they're constantly looking for minimal amounts of tracks or discomfort or infection from spotting a new part of the vein to shoot into.
That's totally different than what the commentary said. It's crazy. That makes way more sense, though.
Yeah, that makes a little bit more. It makes a little bit more logical sense. But I mean, I feel like you could use that in a narrative and however you want.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So basically, we have no idea what it means.
Yeah, I tend to think it's more or less about the shooting of heroin, and which would make sense in the movies. But putting it into the story with them at a train stop and a guy saying, "What are you train spotting?" also makes sense for the story. So I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
Who cares? Don't do heroin, kids. That's the takeaway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to look it up really quick because I really want to know.
I was just looking. I mean, when I looked it up back then, because I wanted to know what it was, all I got was that it's this hobby of watching trains.
A British hobby.
It's just sort of like, that like life is so boring. Look at what we're doing.
Oh, and a hit can be analogous to the impact of a locomotive train. Ah.
So the cryptic film title is a reference to a scene not included in the film in the original book, where Begbie and Renton meet an adult drunkard who turns out to be Begbie's estranged father in the disused Leith Central Railway Station, which they are using as the toilet. He asks them if they are train spotting. Irving Welsh has explained in a Q&A that the title also is a reference to people thinking that the hobby of train spotting makes no sense to non-participants. Likewise, the same applies to heroin addiction. To non-addicts, the act seems completely pointless, whereas to someone hooked on heroin, it makes absolute sense.
That's good. Okay.
And then you scroll down and the guy says, I think the obvious reference, which I can't seem to find anywhere else but here, is that heroin users look for veins or arteries to shoot dope into and end up with track marks. So heroin users look at tracks and for spots to inject themselves. I think it could be literal and it could be part of something else, and they're using it in multiple ways.
Those who are train spotters make an effort to spot all of a certain type of rolling stock. This might be a particular class locomotive or a particular type of carriage or all the rolling stock of particular
Total
company.
British hobby.
Yeah. To the end, they collect and exchange detailed information about the movements of locomotives and other equipment on the railway network and become very knowledgeable about its operations. What?
So really, there's no wrong answer. There's three different ways you can look at it.
That's bizarre. So no trivia there. That was good. That was 5 minutes of not getting anywhere. That's good.
Well, not really. I mean, we explained it in three different ways, and take it however you want.
Yeah. Come on, don't be so down, Denny.
Yeah, don't be such a negative Nancy.
Jeez, fine.
Take a hit and shut up, would you?
Dude, yeah.
Did they shoot that dog in the butthole with a BB gun?
They did.
I thought they shoot him in the balls or something, but no, he didn't have balls, so they shot him in the butt.
His butt looked kind of red after he was like shot.
They actually shot him in the butt?
No, they screamed at it off camera.
Nice.
Dog!
Freaks out. It actually didn't look like it was attacking him too much. He kind of looked like he was just playing with it a little bit.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. What an awful thing to do.
Yeah, for real.
Yell at a dog?
Shoot at a dog.
Shoot it, and then have it attack somebody.
He was about to shoot a friggin' dad.
Oh, yeah?
Well,
I didn't know if he was I think he was looking for the perfect target. I didn't know if he was actually going to shoot him.
He was going to shoot somebody.
It's like the perfect crime to shoot the dog, because the dog's not, there's you shoot the dad, he's going to start looking for who shot him.
So, yeah, but so you think their intent from the beginning was to go there and find somebody with a dog and shoot the dog?
Well, or find some way to shoot something that would cause harm but not get them in trouble.
Yeah. It's a bad hobby to have. That's even worse than heroin, I would think.
Well, in terms for other people, possibly. I don't know. Heroin's pretty bad for other people too, even if they're not the ones using. So,
Yeah. Do you think that scene would be in a movie today? Would they be able to do that?
What do you mean? Sure.
Like set up shop on a hill in a park and just shoot things randomly with a gun?
What? Not that they actually did that.
With a BB gun. About?
Yeah, they did not actually do that.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, it was staged, Denny. They didn't really shoot.
No, I'm saying the portrayal of that in a movie, would that stand these days? Would people actually do something like that these days?
Sure.
I don't think they would.
Really?
I don't know.
Is that worse than going up to somebody with like a cow killer thing and shooting them in the head?
Right.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm confused.
I'm confused. Yeah, I share TC's confusion.
Like, hi, we killed somebody or we shot them with a BB gun and it's fine.
Well, at least in No Country, they don't make it cool. It's fun to hang out with those guys. They're like drinking and smoking on the hill. They're cool. They're shooting things with a gun.
I just looked at them like idiots. I didn't think they were cool.
I got cool for some reason.
You got cool? You wish you knew these guys in middle school?
Kind of.
I mean, that's what they did in middle school, right?
Yeah.
I see both sides to it. I did see them as cool. I see like Sick Boys impersonations as cool. They had more style than I've ever had. But that's sort of the interesting. That's what makes this film so watchable. These guys are charismatic and entertaining. You like them despite what they're doing, and that's.
I don't think I ever liked
for
them.
the film. No.
They were dumbasses.
I liked all of them except for Begbie.
Yeah.
Well, Begbie, he's and actually TC, you like Begbie probably. Didn't you?
I gotta look up who that is. I don't even remember that.
He's the fighter guy.
He's the asshole. The guy.
Oh no! I mean, like I said, on his team.
He wanted to fight with him.
Yeah, on his team, but not gonna hang out with him.
You're just gonna like saddle up next to him when he's yelling at people at a bar, and you're like, "I'm on your side, dude."
Like, yeah, I don't like that guy either. Fuck him. Let's do this. Yeah, exactly. And then, all right, you have a good one, man. No, I don't need your number. We're cool. Just
How does he never get in trouble? Like Scotland can't be huge, right? Like he has to be known.
People feared him. I don't know.
Yeah. Because, I mean, he fucks that guy up in the bar. He probably fucks a lot of people up. He threw that thing and they busted up the girl's face, smashed that pint glass into that guy's throat. Nothing happened there.
Oh, my God, I know.
He like pulls knives out everybody.
He kind of gets in trouble at the end, I guess. Stick. He gets in trouble at the end, right? Because they come out to his room.
But it was only because he stuck a shop up with a gun, right? Or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, it's a movie. That's how.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think that could happen in real life.
And that movie gets away with it, I think. I'm just pointing it out because this is the habit I've gotten into with these movies. I don't think it would happen, you guys. I'm pretty unrealistic. The crawling into the toilet head first, I don't think it would fit. I've seen those holes. They're really small.
Dude, it's not that easy to go down the toilet. Okay, let me tell you that right now.
And believe you me, the water is not that clear on the other end. All right?
Right. No kidding.
Exactly.
Right, you're not out in the ocean.
Yeah.
And you never find those suppositories. They would have dissolved by then anyway. You wouldn't get any. You got them, they'd be all mushy. Whatever.
Yeah, and they were already in his ass for a while, probably getting weaker and weaker by the second.
Yeah. It's not good. It's they would have been
I don't even thinking about this.
Dispersed.
You know, they wanted to put poop in that the scene where he's going to get them, but in the person's
what?
pool. Yeah, they wanted to show shit in there. They wanted to make it gross, but the person's pool they were filming it in didn't want to have to clean it out afterwards.
Well, sure.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Well, they used chocolate instead, didn't they? Like, wait.
No, I'm talking when
when
he's in the water.
In the water, I actually think it was good that it was pristine. I kind of
better.
like that.
It was better, yeah.
Yeah.
Because like he reaches like to heaven. It's like, oh man, I found it. I have this.
Right.
This is good.
Right. Yeah, I think that made the contrast there made even better with the beautiful music playing.
Yeah.
I thought that was good.
Dude, there's a lot. The commentary, there's a lot in this movie where kind of budgetary restrictions forced them to make decisions that ended up being better for the movie overall.
It's the Donnie Darko effect.
Yeah,
man.
dude. And it's funny because me and Naomi were talking about it. We were just like, sometimes people have to make these choices and they make shitty choices. And sometimes people like Danny Boyle make awesome choices the entire time. You know, and sometimes it's luck. Like they have to make the choices for the next movie and they don't make such good choices and it kind of ruins it.
Sure.
So it's kind of luck and kind of like being good at directing and making, I don't know, choices.
Or it's making the best of what you have. But there's an element of just serendipity that can make things even better. You know, just because you're like restricted to what you're going to do. And that sometimes is better. There's this element of chance that,
like Rocky and his big robe, that sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what's so amazing about like creating works of art, whether it's music or in films like this. There's an element. I mean, there's all kinds of complexity that goes into it, but there's also this element of chance, basically. Like given where you were at the time and what you had to work with, what you did, and maybe later you think, I should have done it differently. I should have, like I imagine, you think of like any like an artist who like would rather re-record their crappy like first album with better production or whatever, and it would be worse because it's not the same in terms of what they were working with at the time.
Right.
So
that's a good point.
Yeah.
And you just get lucky sometimes.
Yeah. But
really.
that's what's amazing about. Again, this film has a lot of right choices. And I don't know. I think it's the pool scene was great. I mean, I think the contrast. You have this horrible, dirty toilet, awful poop, and you go into this beautiful blue water, and you have the music. What is that song that's playing there? Is that Last Hit that's playing?
Do not know.
By Left Field.
Dude, have you ever seen such a gross bathroom though? That set was amazing.
No, it was really nasty,
disgusting. Yeah, it was so wet,
and it just like. Who lets any bathroom get that far?
Yeah.
Even if you're a bunch of shitheads, like it's still.
Oh no, that was Brian Eno. That was Deep Blue Day by Brian Eno that's playing as he's swimming there underwater.
Very nice.
Yeah. I've just got it playing in my headphones now. It's beautiful.
Nice. John's going off on his music tangent.
We're gonna lose John for a minute, folks. Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Can either one of you explain to me why when they go on the hike they decide to go back to heroin afterwards?
No.
Maybe just because they're all together again. They're out there and they like experience doing something else as an activity and they're like, nope.
Yeah, you know what would make this day even better? Some fucking heroin.
Yeah, let's go inside and do heroin instead of this.
Yeah, right. I'm a little sore. You sore? Yeah. Get the heroin, huh? Good painkiller.
You think? Yeah, I don't know. He whatever Ewan McGregor's Renton's character kind of rants a bit about how shitty Scotland is. And then they all get up and leave, and they're like, "We were back to heroin that day." And you're
Well,
like,
yeah. I
"Why?"
mean, they almost like they're like, there's nothing else in the world for us but drugs.
Yeah, I guess that would make sense.
Even when we're out here looking at the scenery, we still want to get high.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So I have a question.
Go
So
ahead.
did any of you guys, did you guys buy or like Sick Boy's theory about how people have it and then it goes away? Like you only have it for a certain period of time?
like in your life.
Yeah. Like he was talking about Sean Connery, David Bowie. There are people, you have a certain period of your life where you...
Oh, yeah. I disagree with that heavily when he was talking about Bowie.
Yeah. All right. Well, go on. Well, Bowie in particular.
Well, I
think-
mean, but most people, it's true.
I don't know. I don't think it really... There's some people that keep making... Like Brian Eno, for another example, in this movie. He is still making amazing records.
That's
He's
true.
putting out like
That's fair.
one a year. And he's still like at the forefront of the industry and working with some of the most famous musicians in the world. Still.
I mean, we're still only talking about a small percentage of most people, though.
But he's also talking about people relevant to the movie, like this specific movie.
Well, I think for Sick Boy, he's like trying to come to terms with the fact that he no longer respects Sean Connery as an actor. So it's a moment of crisis for him, apparently.
Yeah.
But this idea that maybe there's a certain you have a golden time where you might really make an influence, and certainly that's the case with a lot of bands. I mean, or a lot of music. Where again, you have exceptions to that, but I think by far you're gonna have bands that come on the scene, maybe have one or two good albums, and then it either falls apart or they put other stuff out and it's no good, or just.
Well, I mean, case in point is like any sports star.
Yeah,
right?
fair enough. Yeah,
You're gonna have it for a little while. And you're
physically,
not gonna have it too much longer after you're old, right?
Right. Physically, you just get old, right? And so I guess it's just the idea of at some point you're just going to go downhill and die.
And that's just the pessimistic approach to being a drug addict too.
Yeah.
Where like
that's choosing life.
Choosing to give up.
Right? Choosing life is like coming to terms that you're just going to do all this random stupid shit until you die.
Choose a career.
Choosing life.
Choose life. Ziggy Pop, though. I mean, that guy's still making good music.
Oh yeah, and again, just amazing. It's
really too bad he's dead, though.
Okay,
Ziggy
he's
Pop
not dead. Iggy Pop is not dead, you asshole.
That was
Iggy
the joke
Pop
in the movie, you idiot.
He's not dead.
I know.
He's not dead. He's touring last year. Tommy went to see him.
Iggy Pop is like Keith Richards, where if you say that, you're like, oh shit, it happened finally.
When you
Am I
type
sad?
that into Google, it literally comes up with Iggy Pop is not dead. He toured last year.
It's still, when you said that, it's like I'm sorry,
Dude,
but it's like
I had
with
no
Iggy.
idea. I honestly had no idea. I'm like, I don't even know. I assume Iggy Pop is dead.
Dude, I saw him
Yeah.
like
You know what
5
I'm
years
saying?
ago in Boston.
It's insane.
He had no shirt on. He looked like a skeleton.
He
Oh,
still
yeah.
he loves the no shirt thing.
He probably was amazing still. I imagine.
He threw his microphone
Was it-
stand
was it-
into the crowd and hit somebody in the head and then apologized.
Of course
that's-
he did.
Wow, that's impressive.
He's like, oh, I got you. I'm sorry. Can I have that back?
Nice. Was it good? How was it?
It was awesome. It had like all of the, so the drummer of the Stooges is dead like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, but he was there playing. So I got to see like all the Stooges play, which was
wow.
awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. All super old. You're like, damn, the Stooges, they used to do heroin on the fucking side of the street in New York 40 years ago, and now they're dying.
Yeah, yeah. And Iggy's still around. Iggy's got that Keith Richards thing going. I think
He's just a friggin' dried up raisin, that man. He's a tan raisin of a man. Tan raisin man.
That just died. That just
It did. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm just going to keep saying it.
Iggy Pop is 71 years old.
wow.
Nice. For a rock star, it's pretty good.
I can't imagine
man,
I mean, I feel like touring in your 40s or 50s would be just dead tiring.
Yeah.
Like that age and just be going strong. I mean, shit.
DC, did you know you could die from cat shit?
Yeah, from toxic plasmosis. I
Yeah.
did know that.
Oh, you did? Really? That was
I
news.
did,
I was
yeah.
like, wait a minute. Is that
I have
real?
a cat.
Wait, so you looked it up?
No, I mean, I knew that actually before this.
So it's like, if you don't clean your kitty litter, you're going to have a stroke and die?
Well, no, you have to be like living with the shit next to you and in, got to be a part of your, like they even said like he's like laying in cat shit and piss.
Yeah.
'Cause he's so fucked up. Like I think if you have your cat box outside your room, I think you're gonna be all right.
Dude, that cat looked very clean and was very cute. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. I know. How did they get it to sit there and not move?
Yeah, it just stayed there.
Glue it? Did they glue it to the ground and then like pick it up after? Like I couldn't figure that out. I'm like, there is not a cat in the world that would allow that dolly shot to happen.
Yeah. Maybe they like played with it for a while and made it very tired or something. Like, all right,
Stay.
it's tired.
Stay, little buddy. Stay, little buddy.
Yeah.
Stay, little buddy. That's
he's
over
running.
And over and over.
He's out of control.
Try again.
Maybe they had something really fascinating for him to watch, like something that was like really fascinating.
No, he's looking
before he
around.
pounced on it.
He's looking around.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Either.
So a quick pop quiz: who's older, Keith Richards or Iggy Pop?
Keith Richards.
Aw,
I don't know.
are you sure?
No, I'm not sure.
Yeah, Keith is 74.
Ooh, very close though. Does Ewan McGregor's character do heroin on the bus when they're going to London for the drug deal?
Yes.
He does. He just hides it
Yeah.
when he comes out?
I mean, I feel like when you're doing heroin that much, it's just, you kind of just get back to even.
No, he went and did it in the bathroom of the bus. Then he goes and sits in his seat, and he's good.
But he
He's
gets
good.
up and stands around. Every other time he does heroin, he falls backwards.
Oh
Well,
you
you know,
do
maybe
that-
he didn't do as
no,
much
no.
as before. I don't know.
You
Or it
do
wasn't
that
as good.
initial fall backwards and go, oh, that's good. Then maybe you get up and have a sandwich. I don't know. Well, I don't know what do you do. How long do you like? If you do heroin, do you just stay down for an hour or something?
I think
No,
it's a
I
while.
think if you're a real heroin user, your threshold is so high, so you can.
But he was
You're
off
not
it for a
doing a-
while.
That's
Right?
true, but
Yeah.
I think it's like when you drink booze too, right? Your threshold goes down for a bit, but after a day, you're right back into it. I don't know. I just assume like I've seen heroin addicts be on that shit all day and then still like do things. So you're not always just KO for long periods. You nod. I mean, they just nod off, but they also can like, I don't know. Plus, who was watching him anyway? They kind of all figured he was doing drugs, right? I mean, I don't know.
It seemed like he got away with it though when they looked back at him and he looked all cool and collected.
Mm.
We don't know what they were thinking.
Yeah.
Do you think Spud's portrayal of Speed in the interview was good?
It was funny. I don't know. I haven't been around too many people on Speed. I think it was just again they used also a lot of like fast cuts to really like make it more intense than it possibly was. But yeah, it was really funny. I don't know if it was realistic or not.
Yeah, I don't know either, but it was pretty damn funny. I got one last question, guys. Why did Spud let him go at the end?
Because he's a nice guy. I mean, he was torn. He didn't want Ewan to go, or you could say he was a coward. He didn't want a conflict either. He didn't want to see Renton get beat up, killed by Begbie.
Yeah.
I mean, if he like raised the alarm, then Renton would be he'd get the shit beat out of him. So he knew that so all he could do is be like, don't do it, man. But he wasn't gonna warn Begbie either. He wasn't gonna like raise the alarm because then Renton's dead, or at least severely beaten.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He's kind of non-confrontational, Spud.
Yeah, that too.
Too,
He's not necessarily wanting to fight or anything. He's just like, no,
He's
man,
just
don't
a
do
dummy.
it. He's a sweet guy.
Dude, I would not sleep in the same room as friggin' Begbie the day of that violent, scary ass scene.
Oh man.
Like, we have money. Let's get a separate hotel room.
Yeah.
Let's not sleep on the floor. And he got the bed too, the asshole.
It's another part of his character that was played really well. His like dominance of people.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
He's a scary motherfucker.
Oh
Dude.
yeah.
I would watch the second one if I were you guys.
Oh, really?
Is it good?
if
Really?
you-
I didn't know.
It's good. It's not as good. Mostly, I would say it's as spoiler free as possible. There's way more of a story to the second one. It kind of runs. It has to. It runs with the end events of this movie, and that's kind of the entire story of the second movie.
That's kind of cool then. I mean,
Yeah, but it's different and not as good because it's not like a spattering of different. It's not like a sketch thing, kind of like a bunch of random
Okay.
events one after the other.
it's more like linear and
Yeah.
kind of like.
And it doesn't have like groundbreaking music or anything like that. But the acting is really good. The characters are still good. Begbie is possibly even more frightening in the second one.
Wow.
Yeah. And like there's really cool camera stuff. You can tell it's shot on digital though, which is not as
It's
going back to
same
back with
director.
this one.
Yeah.
Same director, yeah.
Same director.
Same writer,
same
actors.
I should see. I just avoided it because I was like, I didn't want it to ruin the first one. Not ruin it.
It does not ruin it at all.
But just.
But
be
it doesn't
sad.
make
Just
it
be like,
better
oh.
than, or it's not better than the other one at all.
It's
either,
definitely not
so-
better,
Huh.
but and you wouldn't be able to watch the second one and know what's going on without seeing the first one. There's
Yeah.
a lot of it's a complete continuation, and there's a lot of references to the first one in it. That doesn't help you understand what it's talking about if you hadn't seen the first one.
Right. Well, now I'm interested. I guess I will have to check it out then.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And there are, in different ways, an equal number of like gross out, scream at the TV scenes in it. Commentary was good. You guys want to hear some trivia?
Yeah, it sounds like you're hearing you talking about the commentary. Who was on the commentary?
It was Danny Boyle, Ewan McGregor, Andrew McDonald, who was a producer, and John Hodge, who is the screenwriter.
Huh, damn it. Yeah, so it sounds like you enjoyed it. Like it was full of a lot of interesting stuff.
It was. I think it was recorded separately. Ewan McGregor kind of narrated it before anyone would talk. He would be like, John Hunchman, and then he would start talking. And McDonald, and then he would start talking.
I see. So it was like sort of like produced, kind of, I guess.
Kind of, but
like,
it was recorded in 1996 when this movie came out. So they were all fresh.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Everything's in their head. It's not like I remember this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man,
I think that was
cool.
fun. Yeah. I remember when I was young and I could wear a belly shirt and not look like a fool.
Yeah. You know what's weird is nowadays kids are just taking tampons, putting up their ass vodka. But back then, man, it was heroin, dude.
So they had to put white makeup on the baby to make it look more sickly.
Well,
was it just a doll? It was just a doll, right? Or
well,
on the roof,
it was
but
a real baby.
There was real babies and real shots.
oh, okay. Like
Real
when it
babies,
rolled
real
over.
shots?
Real babies, real shots.
Yeah. But he's like, yeah, babies are always healthy. They're all fat, so it's hard to make them look sickly. So we just covered it in white makeup and hopefully.
Well, you know, like, this baby was seriously committed to its role.
Yeah. Ewan McGregor
5 pounds
lost
of the
2 stones, and the baby lost 0.2 stones.
The baby lost 4 stones, man. This baby knows, this baby's dedicated to the craft.
Baby's the next Brando, damn it. They said it was hard to find somebody to give up a baby where there's lots of sex and drugs and dead babies in a movie.
I can imagine that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing a heroin
Tough
film
sell.
where the baby dies.
Yeah.
You
Don't
know,
worry, there won't be any heroin near the baby. We promise.
Not real heroin, the fake stuff.
Not real
Watch out
heroin.
for the needles.
Yeah.
It was made in Glasgow, and 70% of the movie was made on a old, huge, abandoned cigarette factory they turned into a studio.
Nice.
Most of the exterior shots and interior shots were all built sets there. And it actually, by building the sets in that studio, since the studio didn't cost them any money, and there was no randomness of like having to deal with people and permits and all that stuff, it made it cheaper, even though you had to build sets for everything. Which you couldn't really tell, right? I mean, the drug house kind of seemed like, yeah, obviously that would be a set, but it looked pretty damn good.
No, all of it. I was impressed by again, this didn't feel like a low budget film, right?
No.
It just was expertly done, it seemed.
Sean, did you hear that they redid a lot of the audio for the American version because the original version, it was almost even harder to tell what they were saying in their Scottish accents?
Did anybody turn on the subtitles? I had to.
No.
Once Begbie started relating his story of the pool incident where they were playing pool, I had to turn on the subtitles. Like I don't understand.
I thought about it, but I thought it was kind of some of the experience. Kind of just
yeah.
Because he's kind of supposed to be drunk and stuff, and you can kind of get what he's getting at. And people I feel like I'm more on his side. We're like, I don't know what he's saying, but I gotta laugh at his story because this guy's fucking scary.
Yeah, exactly. That's fair enough. Yeah, it's like, all right, whatever, baby.
Yeah. You're the man, dude. Please don't hurt me. All right, cool.
Fair enough. Yeah. But otherwise, it was pretty. Again, it was pretty easy to understand, even though the accents were certainly there. But yeah, so they had to go re-record all the audio for the American release, and so there's a separate audio track.
Yes, and not all the audio, but certain scenes they had to re-record.
Right.
One of the ones was the scene where it was Begbie telling the story before he threw the glass over the railing. That was the one where they were talking about it. So they redid
that was what I turned the subtitles on.
Oh, yeah. No. Still hard to hear.
Still really tough. Maybe it was even worse then. It was like that joke. There's always like, not every Scottish movie. There's this movies where there's the joke is that there's the Scottish guy that no one understands what he's saying.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The ADR was really good too. Like the mouth wasn't off sync or anything. It's pretty good.
Again, I don't know what the hell it is, but everything about this film seems to be like very well crafted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to also save money for the low budget, the budget was $1.5 million. They did most of the shots, most of the scenes in one take each. But the shit throwing scene where they threw the shit on everybody's face, they did 3 times.
Oh, God.
And it was actually difficult. The prop department had to make sure the consistency of their weird shit mixture was the same because they used different takes from the different throws in the movie.
Oh. So I just got like an image of like 4 dudes sitting around the toilet just shitting and then like scooping it into it.
And you're like, all right, what are we
using real
we got
shit?
chunks.
Yeah. All right, Tommy. Yeah, yours was looking better than John's over here. We'll use. No, you know what, Daniels? Yours is this. Let's do that one. Yeah.
Yeah, but they had to like clean the walls, clean the sheets, clean the costumes, dry off the people. Like it was a whole ordeal reshooting that. That seems like a weird idea. They had an ex-heroin user on set that had been clean for 4 years to tell them how to shoot doing drugs.
Hey,
so everything was accurate. Sick Boy, his grandfather was M in James Bond, which is why he had such a good James Bond accent and part of the reason why he was cast in the movie.
Oh, good find, sir. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really apparently when he did his casting call too, he impressed them because he did it in it with the Sean Connery accent. He did the whole thing.
Yeah.
And that really impressed them.
Yeah. Weird things you can get cast in big freaking classic movies for.
Yeah. Just doing that accent that he did was so fun. I mean, that made his character really fun. Or really entertaining to watch, I thought.
Yeah.
The backstory of his where he has a fascination with Sean Connery. And that's like kind of his whole shtick, basically. I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool.
And he should have waited like another year because this is 96. This is when The Rock came out. And that's a freaking classic Sean Connery movie right there.
Yeah.
That is a very classic one.
So the scene where he's freaking out in the bed and he sees all of his friends, they come to like visit him and stuff.
Right, right.
Yeah.
The Kelly MacDonald character, the 19-year-old, comes and sings a New Order song. I don't know what the name of the New Order song is, but in the script, and they wanted her to sing Golden Years by David Bowie, but she didn't know who that was at the time.
Dope.
Yeah. Whoops.
Whoopsie.
Hey, I mean, the New Order song works really well, though. It's much more, that song is much more whimsical and fairy tale like, I think, the way. So I thought, again, it works really well. It's another like chance occurrence where I think it works better than Golden Years would have worked.
Yeah. How do you even sing Golden Years?
What's she going to do?
Go, wop, wop, wop.
Yeah.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Please stop doing that.
Right. So the more nursery rhyme sounding part of that song about eye color is, I don't know, it works really well.
Agreed. Last piece of trivia. They didn't know each other going into the set of this movie. They played soccer together for a while for camaraderie, and then they moved into a flat together a week before shoot.
Well,
so they were friends.
Cute.
Isn't that nice?
Cute.
Yeah.
So cute.
Yeah.
Adorable.
That's all I got.
All right.
Definitely worth watching the commentary if you guys.
Really?
Well, you guys won't. But
No,
Ewan McGregor and Danny Boyle. Come on, they're chatting it up. They're good people.
yeah.
yucking it
that's
up
good.
over there like a couple of pals.
Yeah, it was good. So yeah, top 250 time. What do you think?
Oh yeah.
Is that
Timmy?
Timmy says yeah.
Yep.
What do you think, Timmy?
That's a
you're
yep.
a fan?
That's a yep.
That's a
If I
yep.
ever heard
Yeah.
Timmy.
all
Quiet
right.
little yep from Timmy. John, what do you think?
Oh yeah. I think this movie has so many good elements to it. I mean, also in talking about this, I've been saying this like 4 or 5 times, repeating myself as I usually do. That just also admiring the craftsmanship in this film, given the low budget, and that it's like it's Danny Boyle's second film. I don't know. That's just all around pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely for me.
Agreed. Especially for a movie that it's extremely original, even though it rips off movies like Pulp Fiction and Clockwork Orange and stuff. It still completely does its own thing. It doesn't seem like a derivative movie somehow.
Yeah, and I mean, I
Which is
feel
hard.
like if you haven't watched those in a while, you can kind of put it aside.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely could. I guess you could make that Pulp Fiction comparison in terms of like I don't know what you call it, like whimsical dialogue going on that's not necessary to the plot or anything, but it just is interesting to listen to.
But there's also weird like directorial things that happen once, like when the screen says like worst toilet in Scotland, it pops up, like stuff like that is kind of strange. But it works. I don't know. Whatever. You guys ready for next week?
What is next
What
week?
is next week?
We are watching the 1996 movie The Rock, directed by Michael Bay, starring Sean Connery and Nicolas
You're
Cage.
kidding.
You're kidding
No,
me.
you're
Get
kidding me.
out
That
of
is not
town.
the top
Ed
five.
Harris is in it
Bullshit.
too.
No,
This
it
movie
isn't.
is great.
No, it isn't.
It should
Come
be
on.
on the
Bullshit.
list. It should be on the
Right,
list.
right,
It should
right
be.
after that
Dude,
is Con Air,
oh.
followed by Face
Yeah,
Off.
The
right.
Rock is a classic. I don't know what's
followed
wrong
by
with people.
Face Off. Jesus Christ. That was good, Danny, though. Had me
And
going
then
for a
Snake
second.
Eyes is next.
Well done.
Yeah.
Snake Eyes is
Snake
next.
Eyes.
Yeah, dude. Snake Eyes. Nicolas Cage. We're on a Nicolas Cage-a-thon right here. It's kind of weird how they all
Yeah,
went.
that's
All
right.
right. All right.
No, he's got some supporters.
1978 movie, The Deer Hunter.
Oh.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Who's seen this?
I have not.
I don't know. Robert De Niro, huh?
I have seen it.
I don't know if I've seen this.
I'm not going to say anything.
All right.
Good luck.
Godspeed.
Any, yeah, is that it?
Good
What do you guys
night
think?
and good luck.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So thank you for listening. Go to our website, mission250filmcast.com. Frozen list, older episodes. Like and subscribe your favorite podcast app. Go to Facebook, do the thing there. Go to Twitter and do the thing there. And thank you for listening. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay. See you next week, guys.
Later.